welcome to the show. We don't know what the name is yet. Leave your suggestions in the comments. My name is Alex.
And my name is Kirby.
And today we're going to talk about Star Wars versus Star Trek.
Let's get into that.
Alright,
Now,
your favorite is Star Wars.
yeah, definitely. To be fair, I haven't seen that much Star Trek. I have seen a couple episodes back when you were really into it. I don't know, it just seemed really dry and more of a... It wasn't, it was more logistics and technicalities than, the action bit that you get. More than just, the action bit that you get with Star Wars. And, as much as...
saying you like action more than plot.
No, I like plot, but I also like, a little bit of action. Thing. I also like a bit of
And
action.
it's not there.
A bit of action. Instead of just...
Star Trek has some action.
It does?
Yeah. You just haven't seen it.
Yeah,
there is a lot of it's more of a drama show than action. But, as far as my favorite, I like both. But favorite, Star Wars probably holds up better. It does have more action, but it's got a good plot too.
Mm-hmm.
People hated the prequels because reasons.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been a while since I've seen either show, but CGI was a big issue with those. Because,
4, 5, and 6. The 70s, of course, CGI was very limited, to say the least. Although I was very impressed by the CGI.
I wasn't alive in the 70s, so
I wasn't either. I was very impressed by the CGI in 4, 5, and 6. Only, major flaw I saw with the CGI was when the starfighters, the TIE fighters and the X-Wings, when they blew up, the explosion would move with everything else, like... If this goes through and it explodes, the explosion's not going to go...
I think that was on purpose.
Well, it could have been, but, it was still impressive for the 70s. That's a big issue because...
well, if you care more about the CGI than the plot, you're shallow.
Well...
The plot was good.
The plot is... the basic thing, and I understand where they're coming from. The original 3 movies, 4, 5, and 6, very limited CGI, first of all, mainly because of the 70s. Then later, when George Lucas made 1, 2, and 3, he had, more CGI in it because it was the 80s by then.
He overdid it, though. That was the problem, I think. It was like, well, we got CGI now. Everything is CGI.
Jar Jar Binks and the Gungans. That was entirely CGI.
People hated Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah,
and with good reason. He was pointless.
I like Jar Jar Binks just because he's so pointlessly clumsy. And clumsily skilled, I guess, because he does things, but he's super clumsy. But it still ends up working out for him.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Going with Star Trek side of it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, there's a lot of Star Trek to come from. Because, I can just start with the original series, obviously. CGI sucked. It was the 60s. Acting sucked. And plot sucked. There's a certain charm to it. I'm like people who are big fans of Star Trek. I think it's more Next Generation. It's probably mostly Next Generation series, and he doesn't know much about it. But
Well,
you don't.
I know.
Patrick Stewart, the actor who was the captain, Jean-Luc Picard, in The Next Generation, who's obviously a great actor. As far as acting, actually, The Next Generation probably was the best series. It had the best acting, the best plots, and Star Trek is a lot of drama, but it's got some action too, and a good number of the plots are good too. And you see, with you got so much content, I guess you could say, with all the series and all the seasons of the series, and the episodes themselves are long too. Like I think the classic series, the original series, probably some episodes, I don't know, maybe they were all shorter than I think, but it seems like a lot of them were around 40 minutes. But then they got to 20 minutes. But with so much content, you end up with a bunch of crappy episodes, which is probably why some people don't like it. But, I like it.
And to be fair, I don't know. I assume they had a low budget. But
I'm not sure they did.
like as far as the aliens went, I mean, George Lucas, of course, he was limited because there was very little CGI in the 70s. But his aliens were animatronic.
Animatronics are cool.
Yeah, animatronics are cool. But the main thing I noticed in Star Trek, the couple episodes that I watched, the aliens were, they didn't put very much effort into, making the aliens alien, if you see where I'm going. Like,
Well,
there's guys with the warty foreheads,
But
which was okay, but for
they're
example,
Klingons.
the Vulcans, I mean,
they're not very...
they had thin eyebrows and pointy ears.
Wait,
and
so you're saying they
that
should
was-
have used more CGI with their aliens?
not CGI, just like made them more.
I think they did
alien
good.
looking?
I mean, it was good because they had. I mean, it was good. I'm not going to make
Like,
myself sound stupid, which maybe I probably already have, but I liked it. I like them both, as I've already said.
Well, for example, there's, as far as the alien thing, there was a particular alien,
Which
some
one?
sort of, I don't know
Star
what
Wars
it's
or
called.
Star Trek?
Star Trek. It was a woman alien, and all they did was, she was just covered in green paint.
Yeah.
That, and I mean, like I said, I
So,
understand
well,
they
I
probably
mean-
had a low budget.
So what you're trying to say is Star Wars had better aliens.
Yeah, pretty
There you
much.
Well, as far as creativeness, yeah, they.
Yeah.
Well,
Jabba the
well,
Hutt
I don't
was
even know about
impressive, I mean.
creativeness. Because it's probably like just a handful, maybe 5 aliens that aren't humanoid in Star Trek.
Whereas,
There's probably more than that, but they're scattered. Most of the aliens are, the plots. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Alright, so aliens, we've got Star Trek. They were more,
cheesy.
less, not cheesy. They were just less elaborate. Star Wars, they were. As far as plot, Voyager, that was a great plot. There's a subplot, I don't know if that's what you call it, but through the entire series, it was Star Trek, obviously, if you're not familiar with either one. The entire plot, they're trying to get home over a big old nasty distance, 70 light years. So that was, plot-wise, that was, I think, the best series. But then you've got Star Wars, which is hours of stuff with cool stuff in it and good content. The plot is good with, Darth Vader and Yoda.
Yeah.
Are there other characters in that movie?
Are there any other characters? Yeah, let's see. Obi-Wan?
You don't have to listen. I'm being
I
sarcastic.
know.
He has a Star Wars shirt that says something about sarcasm.
The sarcasm is strong.
Hasn't used much of it.
You can probably see it, but I don't know.
So what do you guys think? Star Wars or Star Trek? I have a feeling it's probably more Star Wars fans.
And another issue with, the
Wrap it
comparison
up.
of the two, I know, it's just I was planning on putting this in earlier, but I forgot. Anyways, Star Trek is a show, and Star Wars is a set.
It's okay.
It's like 2 trilogies. And they're movies. They're not. It's not a show with like
Oh, and also,
20 episodes.
so they're making new Star Wars.
Yeah.
Disney.
But I've
All right,
heard
let me tell you my beef with that real quick. I think
Miley
it's going to
Cyrus.
be good because, Disney makes movies that tend to be good quality. I don't know. I'd say some people probably say their quality is deteriorating, and they're probably right.
as far as their
But
shows go,
Star Wars,
yeah.
it's probably going to be good. The thing I don't like about it is Disney's probably, or it seems like to me, it seems like Disney acts. I mean, they're taking credit for Star Wars. Like, there's an ad out there, and it's an ad for Disney, and they use Star Wars, and that annoys me because
They did.
Disney did not make Darth Vader. That was someone else. Lucasfilms, I guess?
Yeah,
No?
Lucasfilms Ltd.
Anyways. And that annoys me. But it's probably going to be good, but it's probably not going to be good because it's not the original. I mean, some of the original cast, but or maybe there's not. I don't know. I don't know much about casting and stuff. But anyways, I think it'll be a decent movie on its own, but it's definitely going to have some big issues. It's probably going to be pretty polarizing. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. Maybe everyone will hate it. I don't think everyone will love it though. What were you
Well,
gonna
I don't
say?
know. Like,
And we got to wrap it up.
yeah. Just wanted to add something in there, real quick. J.J. Abrams is directing it, and I watched an interview with him on YouTube, and
The YouTubes? What's that?
about, the new movie, and of course he wouldn't reveal things, but he did say that, he was a huge fan of Star Wars when it first came out. He was a kid, and, he was a huge fan, which I think that's good because he's a fan of it, and,
Well,
you could argue either way, but
a lot of people are
He's-
fans of Star Wars.
yeah, and he's going
it's a good show
he's going with the
movies.
less CGI bits.
series.
He's going with, very little CGI, a lot of
Oh no,
animatronics.
I saw on the internet. You see, they found the set that they're using. It's a green screen. That's it. It's just green.
He was in Abu Dhabi.
That's
It is-
that's it. No, I think I heard they were going to use real sets and everything.
And, I've heard rumors that last thing, that he changed the X-Wing Starfighter, more,
That annoys me too. People change things.
well,
in shows, I mean, it's like a
It's got
universe. You can't
blue
change something.
detailing
it's like
on it
changing
instead
what
of-
trees are in this universe.
it's got blue detailing on it instead of the red, like in the original movies. But that's how George Lucas originally wanted it. He just couldn't do it because back then, instead of
But
green screen,
consistency
it was
is the
blue
thing.
screen.
It's
So
gotta
that
be.
you could-
It's gotta be consistent.
Yeah, but
Anyways,
I
that
mean-
makes sense. All right. Let us know, Star Wars or Star Trek. Give us any more suggestions for what you want us to talk about. Just leave us a comment on what you thought. We'll see you next time on whatever this show is going to be called. Leave suggestions for that also,
Please.
and within, by next week, we'll probably have a name for it. Hopefully, maybe not.
No promises.
That's all for this episode of this.
Sure.
Thanks for watching.
Ta-ta.
Bye.